Okay, here we go. Now, let me do this. Okay. I was working with my OBS, just doing a little bit of trying to get it set back up. Let me see if I've got it working. Testing. Test. Yeah, so I do have it up. Okay, so I haven't been able to get on and do a little practicing for a while. I have done Midnight Madness's 30-day challenge. I just finished that, so I'm just going to throw some bones for a few minutes. I don't have a lot of time, but I have a little bit of time. So I've got a $1,000 bankroll, and I've got a $10 pass line, and I'm going to do a $25 ATS, which is 10, 5, and 10. I'll put that out like this. 10, 5, and 10 for ATS. For 25, I don't have a fire bet on my table, but I'm going to put a $5 fire bet right here. It might stay out of my way of my dice. Sometimes it gets in my way right there. But I'm going to be using a 3-2-3-6 set, and I'm going to see. I might play something like a little iron cross or something. I don't know. Just mainly want to get a few practice shots in. Haven't practiced in a while. Dice route. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we got a 3-1-4. 3-1-4 is our point. We'll mark the 4. All right, so 3-1-4. That's an on-axis single pitch. Let's go ahead and go 220. I'm not going to play iron cross. I'm just going to do 220 on the inside. Try to do a couple of hits and regress. Oh yeah, I have my tracker up, so I'm going to go ahead and put that 4 in. And that will be okay, so here we go. 3-2-3-6. I can keep up with my stats right there. I will keep up with it on the table for my ATS. Dice route. 1, 2, 3. All right, we got a 4-1-5. 4-1-5. That's barely in there. I might have to adjust that camera. I'm not going to do that right now. 4-1-5. So I'll mark the 5. 60 pays 70. We're going to buy the 4 and 10 for this $70 winner we got right here. We're going to put the 5 in the tracker. All right, here we go. 3-2-3-6 on the set. That's right. And we got our 3-1. We got our 1-3-4 this time. So the left dice imploded. 1-3-4. So that is our point. We got 35 on it. So for $1, it pays. We got 35 on it right here. I'm gonna spread this money out. I started doing this in the LLC Sunday so that the viewers could see the amounts that's on here easily. So I got 35 on the 4. So for $1 it pays 70. So I'm just gonna pay myself with the 69. I'm gonna pay myself with the 69. There's 65, 50, 65, 69 plus the $10 front line. All right. I'm gonna mark my 4 in the tracker. All right, the point goes off. I'm going to put fire bet chip number 1 right there on the 4 because that is a unique hit. All right, so what I normally do, the very first inside hit I get, I'll spread to the outside as I did. The very next hit, I will take and regress everything. That way I get my 220 back off the board. So I take the 10 off the 4 and I make the 5 35. I take 30 off of the 6, 30 off of the 8. I take the 10 off the 4, and I make the 9 35. So essentially what this does is that allows me to get, there's 150, there's 175, there's 185, 189. It lets me put $189 back in my rack with basically with 2 hits. Plus I got a loaded board. Alright, so here we go. Nice try. Big Cheese, hey man, what's going on? How's it going? Doing well, thanks. Just doing a little practice tossing. Got a $5 fire bet, and I've hit my first point, so I'd like to see myself be able to get that fire bet. That's a come out roll. It's a 7. We don't work the point. We don't work the puck. That's a 2. That's a 5-2-7. The stick rolled it. That's a come out. Now what that does, that resets. I have to re-ante for the ATS, but I win a front line $10. That come out 7. It goes in the tracker. Now that $10 I have to re-up for my ATS. So essentially, basically I lose 15 on the come out 7. So I have to put my quarter back up for ATS because I got 10, 5, and 10. That resets any numbers that I've hit for the ATS. But I don't work my place bets on the come out, and it does not take away my fire bet. I got a $5 fire bet right here. I don't have fire bet markings on my table, but I have the $5 fire bet right here. I've hit 1 point. So 3-2-3-6. My right dice that time exploded and caused a 5-2-7. So let's see if we can get this better. That's right. All right, we got a 4-2-6. We'll have to move them toward that camera. I've got to set that camera up a little better. We got a 4-2-6, so our new point's going to be a 6. Go ahead and put the 6 on. I'm going to mark the 6 in the tracker. All right, so just a quick look at the tracker, which I'll show you that. Okay, so here we go. So our point is a 6. We have a loaded board. We have an ATS, and we started with 220, and we had 2 hits and regress. So we've got the majority of our money back in our rack, minus that ATS, because we've had to put 50 out for the ATS so far. 6 is the point. Here we go. Dice are up. All right, we got a 6-2-8. 6-2, both dice exploded. 6-2-8. We made an 8, so we marked the 8. 30 pays 35. So we will. We need to take another hit or two just to kind of clear ourselves back out of that ATS money. But we really don't have to. I mean, normally what I do on this situation is regress on down to 76 inside. So that 8 right there pushes that 6 and 8 down to the first step of the 76 inside. I don't have to do this. I could just collect about 2 hits and then start going down. Then start going back up, but that works right there too. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 3, 6. We will just go ahead and regress to the 76 inside and then press from there. Dice are out. All right, we got 3, 3, hardway 6. We've got our second point made. There we go. That's an on-axis hit. So we've got 18 on it. It pays 21, and that brings about the second fire bet hit. All right, so so we get a $10 pass line too. All right, so what we'll do now, this will complete the regression to the 76 inside, and since we've made 2 different points, that's an extra 20 from that, plus a come out 7, so we've actually got 30 more in our rack because of the come out 7 and the 2 points made. So again, we don't work the point on the come out, and we're on a new come out here, so we don't work the point on the come out. So here we go. Dice are out. All right, we got to come out 7 again. 4, 3, 7. That's a double pitch. Now what that essentially does, it pays us 10, but we have to re-up our ATS for a quarter. So we'll basically lose 15 for that. We knock our 8 off, and we knock our 6 off. That was the only 2 numbers we had hit on the. That was the only 2 numbers we had hit before we knocked our ATS. We reset our ATS. So our 25's back up. Our ATS is reset. That does not affect the fire bit. That's the only good thing about a come out 7. It doesn't affect the fire bit. That's right. All right, we got a 3, 6, 9. So this is an on-axis. This is a new point. This is a 3rd unique point. So this is looking good for on the behalf of our fire bet. All right, so our bets are on. We have regressed. Down from 220 down to 76 inside. We have 50 on the outside. We're quarters on the outside. So we have to no longer regress any further. We can just try to go forward now. Oh, so this is a 3, 1, 4. Okay, so let me get the dice over. That camera, I don't think it's picking it up well. 3, 1, 4. So this is an on-axis single pitch hit. 3, 1, 4. We got a quarter on it. So for $1, it pays 50. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start back pressing. We're going to press our 5 and we're going to press our 9. So we're going to press our 5 and our 9. And let me mark that up in the, all right, there we go. So 3, 2, 3, 6. We're looking for we're looking to make a 9. That's right. All right, we got a 2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 5 is an on-axis single pitch hit. We've got 35 on it. We marked the 5. We've got 35, so 35 pays 49 or 50 for 1. And we're pressing. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the insides pressed back up before we press the outsides. All right, so now we got both insides pressed. Well, I call them both because I press them as sister numbers. 5, 9 presses together, the 6, 8 presses together. Alright, I'm going to put the 5 in the tracker. Alright, here we go. We're looking for a 9. Point is a 9. That's right. Alright, we got an AC doozy. Now that right there is a drift. I gotta move this money. Money's kind of getting in my way a little. It's giving me a fear that my backswing is getting, my hand's about to hit. So we got a 1, 2, 3 AC doozy. AC doozy. Yeah, I got to mark a 3 on the all toss on the small. Put the 3 in the tracker. And we're ready. 3, 2, 3, 6. Here we go. That's right. All right, we got our 4, 5, 9. We have our 9. We have made our 9. So we've got 50. We've got 35 on it. So for $1, it pays 50, and it pays $10 on the front line, right here. All right. So and what it does, it allows me to put a 3rd fire bet chip out there. All right. Let me do this. I'm gonna go ahead and cash these in because I just like to go ahead and color up and keep room for these individual reds and greens and whites. The greens are starting to run over into the black, and the reds was running over into the white. I don't mind if they run over a little, but if they start filling up the whole white section, I just want to color them up. So we hit our 9. So we mark our 9. All right, we're only we've hit 3 points. We've got a $5 fire bet working. So here we are on the come out. We need a 5, 8, or 10 to be established right here. This is what we're looking for, 5, 8, or 10. We've hit the 4, 6, and 9, so we need this 4th different unique number. And our points are 4 again, so this is not going to be a unique number. 3, 1, 4, our points are 4, so our puck goes back to 4. Now, so mark the 4. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 3, 6. We're looking to go ahead and get this 4, so we can try to get another number established. All right, we got a 5, 6 yo. 5, 6 yo is an on-axis double pitch. Mark the yo. All right. 3, 2, 3, 6 on the set. That's right. All right, we got a 6, 4, 10. 6, 4, 10. We've got a quarter on it. We marked the 10 over here. We've got a quarter on it, so for $1, pays 50. All right, so this time we're going to press the outsides. Because remember I said we get the inside pressed once each before we press the outsides. So 6, 4, 10, we mark the 10 in the tracker. All right, now here's our situation. We need a 2 and a 6 for a small. We need an 8 and a 12 for a tall. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do anything different. I'm just going to shoot. This is mainly for practicing. I don't want to change dice sets right now. I'm just going to shoot. Try to hit the fire bit. Try to get some more inside numbers. All right, we got our 2, 6, 8. This is an on-axis primary hit right here, 2, 6, 8. So we've got our 8. We've got 30 on it. Pays 35. And here's the situation we're in now. Now we only need a 12. for a tall. So now what I will do is cut all my place bets off. You know, instead of cutting them off, I could just reduce them to nearly nothing, or I could just leave them on. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut them off, and I'm going to change my setup to this, what was it, what was it? It was a 1-3-1-2. Is that what it was? 1-3-1-2? No, that's not what it is. 3-1-2-1 maybe? That's not what it is. Oh yeah, it's the cross sixes. It's the 6-5-6-4. Or better yet, 6-4-6-5. That's what it is. That way I might connect my 6, my 12, or my aces. So I'm going to cut my place bets off. I still have my fire bet working. And I'm going to use the 6-4-6-5 set and see if I can, you know, get this 12 to roll, or possibly even aces, because I need both numbers. Well, there's AC Deucey. We've already got the 3 marked. So AC Deucey was close to the aces, but it was not the aces. So again, 6-4, 6-5. 6-4-6-5 was the AC Deucey was this number, double single pitch. So we're on axis. We just had a double single pitch instead of a on axis primary hit. So here we go, dice roll. And this time we got a 3-1-4. So there's our point made. We don't have our place bets working, but we're going to put our point in our tracker. We win a $10 here. We win a pass line. That cuts this off. That puts our place bets off anyway, but we would be off anyway. Because we're using, now I'm going to use the 3-2-3-6 set on the come out. But no, I'll use the 6-4-6-5. 6-4-6-5. I'll use the cross sixes on the come out. I'm still trying to get aces or 12. And since I'm doing that, I might as well just go ahead and hop. Not hop, but I might as well go and play $2 for any craps. That way if I get a 2-3 or a 12, I'll get actually I'll get $7 for each one of these, so I'll make $4. I'll lose this 10, but I'll win 14 here, 14 and stay up, 14 and up, or it'll be 14 and stay up. So yeah, I'll do that. Since I'm using the craps number, since I'm using cross sixes, I'm playing any craps on the come out. All right, we got a 3-6-9. So that right there is a double pitch. 6-4, 6-4. No, that's a single pitch. Single pitch. So our new point's a 9. We've already made a 9. So this will not help our fire bet any. But I'm going to leave the place bets off. And I'm going to shoot for this 6-4-6-5 set. I'm trying to hit the 12 or the aces. That's the 12's all I'm down to on the tile. And there it is. That's an on-axis primary hit. Booyah. On-axis primary hit. Cross sixes produced the 12. So that's why I changed sets. I cut my place bets off so my money wouldn't be at risk here. And I used a 6-4, 6-5 cross sixes because that's all I needed was a 12 to land the tall. So for my payout pays $35 for one. I've got $10 up there, so it pays me $3.50. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to leave these off because I still need a 6 and a 2. So I'm not going to concentrate on the 6 as so much as I'm going to concentrate on staying with the 6, 4, 6, 5. No, staying with the cross 6s, but it's going to be rotated over to the aces. So you'll see what I'm talking about. 6, 4, 6, 5 is the set right there. I'm going to keep the numbers. I'm going to keep the dice the same. So I'm going to basically use, still using the cross 6s. They're just on the bottom. So I'm using ace 3, ace deuce. And I'm trying to hit the 2. Because if I can hit the 2 and only need the 6, I'll have a great opportunity to lay. So dice are out. And there's a double, well, it's not really a double pitch, but there's a 7. So let's see what happened with the dice before we go to any money. Alright, so we had a 6, 4. So we had a 6, 4, 6, 5. Alright, we had 6, 4. No, we had ace 3, ace deuce, right? Okay. And then we ended with a 3, 4. So our right dice exploded. Is what happened. Our left dice stayed on axis, but regardless, I just want to see what happened. The right dice exploded, so that 7 cost us our $5 fire bet. We did not lose any place bets because I had them cut off. But the line bet and the fire bet is lost. No problem. And the $2 any craps. Actually, yeah, I had a 9. That $2 was not up. Okay, so here we go. So that's down. And let's put the 7 in and look at the stats. Now we did not lose any place bets. They were still on. So let's go back over now. And do another session because we didn't lose our place bets. We didn't lose our place bets because we had cut them off when we only needed that 12. And after we hit the 12, we didn't cut them back on because we still needed to hit a 2 for a small. So these are still off, but the puck right here is showing that. So I'm going to put a $5 fire bet back up. And I'm going to put my $25 ATS money back up. Alright, there we go. So here we go. Alright, so now we're going back to the 3, 2, 3, 6 for some rows. Because we're not actually worrying with the horn numbers right now or the extremes. Them come later if we can get everything else. Alright, we got a 3, 1, 4 again. So we're still on that 4. That 4 has been the hot number. So we've got a 4. Our new point's a 4, or this new shooter here. So we wouldn't actually have to take our bets down if we weren't shooting. But if we were shooting, I would have took my... If I was shooting and there was more people at the table, my bets would have been off. But when I hit that 7, if the dice passed to another shooter, I'd pull them bets down. But if I'm the only person at the table, you know, I would have just left them up. But if there's more shooters after I hit that 7, I wouldn't start back out with this setup. But since it's me shooting, I would just pretend at the point that I'm the only person at the table. So here we go. So with me being the only person at the table, I don't have to pull the bets down. I can just cut them off when I don't want them on. Alright, we got a 5, 6 yo. That's a double pitch. That's a on axis double pitch. So we mark the yo. we're looking for that 4 again so we can mark that up with the fire bet. Alright, we got a 156. That 5 is on that wall. I think it's off there. 156. Alright, so there was a 6. We needed the 6 the last rip. We needed 2 and a 6. So I'm going to mark the 6 on my tracker. We've got 30 on it. It pays 35. Now, we were getting paid earlier. And I was pressing as I was going, but then I cut them off. So, let's go ahead and start back pressing now. We're going to press the 5 and the 9 first. We've already got the 4 and the 10 pressed. So we press the 5 and the 9, and we press the 6, 8. A 4-point fire bet is pretty hard to hit for me. Some people hit them numbers. I don't hit a lot of points like that. So, all right, we got a 415. 415, so we hit the 5. We got 50 on it. It pays 70. 50 pays 70. Right here. And we can press the 6 and 8. Now, here's the situation. We haven't hit any, well, we've hit the yo, but we haven't hit any of the big numbers except the yo. We just hit the 5. But we only need the 2 and the 3 to make the small. But at this point, we hadn't hit. So we're going to shoot a few more inside hit. We're going to shoot a few more 3-2, 3-6 on the set. 3V set to try to get some more of the tall numbers. And there's a 459. So we hit the 9. It's got 50 on it. Pays 70. Alright, so now let me put the 9 in the tracker. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to press anything. I'm just going to cut my bets off. All my place bets are off. I need an 8, 10, and a 12. I need a 2 and a 3. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my 6, 4, 6, 5 cross sixes and try to, either get like a single pitch in that fashion for a 3, or an on-axis hit for a 2, or an on-axis hit for a 12. That's what I'm shooting for. It's a couple of those 3 numbers. And this dice set could bring about 3 of those numbers, on axis. We got a 145. 145. We have nothing working. The only thing we have working is a place bet. Is a pass line bet right now, and it's on the 4. So 6, 4, 6, 5. So the right dice exploded again. That's what happened to us when we 7'd out. So we have to figure out what we're doing with this right dice. Nice. And there's an explosion again on that right dice. We got that same 4 again. We got that. I just said that right dice is exploding. So we knocked our $10 pass line off. We lost our $5 fire bet, our $10 pass line, and essentially we lost our ATS. But that's what we changed the set for, was trying to capitalize on the ATS. It didn't work. We didn't lose our place bets. So now we're back again, say at a brand new shooter. And if the dice don't stay with me, if it was other people on the table, I would pull my bets down. I would not start at this level with just a random shooter. Now, place bets are off, so I didn't lose those. But starting with another shooter, I would just pull my place bets down. You know, but I'm going to start this off again as me shooting again, so just like that it was me at the table alone. I've got to figure out what this right dice is doing. It keeps exploding. All right, 516 is an on-axis primary hit. That's a primary. So here we go. So we're going to stay with our 3-2-3-6 for a few minutes. So our new point is a 6. We're going to stay with our 3-2-3-6. We're going to stay with that until we can, you know, maybe get a few numbers. And if we can get a few hits and a few numbers under our belt for the ATS, we might then move over to a different set to try to hit those extremes. Six, there's an extreme. That's a left dice exploded. The right dice stayed on axis. But hey, that happens sometime, and sometimes that works out to be a good benefit for you. You don't have to swap sets. If I don't start swapping sets, I usually leave my place bets working. So if I don't swap sets and I get an extreme number like that in the midst of trying to hit some of the other numbers, sometimes it turns out to be a benefit because you'll have an opportunity to lay one of those numbers in a minute. And there's a 3-6-9. So that's an on-axis single pitch. 3-6. We got 50 on it, pays 70. And now we can take and press the 9 and 5 and we'll collect 20. Put the 9 in the tracker. So 3-2-3-6 on the set. Don't have to change nothing, just keep shooting. Maybe get fortunate enough to grab a couple more of those tall numbers so you can lay one. Like I need the yo before I need the other two. There's the 10, 6, 4, 10. So now I need an 8 and a yo. So I got 50 on the 10. So for $2 it pays me 100. And I'm not going to put the whole 100 out, but I will press my, let's see, I need to press my 6 and 8 before I press my 4 and 10. Alright, so I'll mark the 10 in the tracker. So now I need an 8 and a yo. So if I could somehow net that yo before I net that 8, I'd have an opportunity to lay against that 8. That's right. And I can't do it. I've got the 2-5-7. 3-2-3-6. The right dice imploded. So earlier it's been exploding. That time it imploded. So this time I did lose it all. Well, I didn't lose it all, but I lost all my place bets. So sometimes hitting that extreme number early in the roll is not the beneficial thing, because if I do that, then I tend to not want to cut my place bets off. I just want to let them work through. But when I'm only needing something like the 12 or the yo or the 4 extreme numbers, then I'm not subject. Then I'm really subject to cut those place bets off. So that's just the difference in that. But yeah, so I had a 7. So let me look over now at the stats. I know that's like 4. Let's go one more round and see what we can do. Let's go right there with those 2 dice. We're going to go a $5 fire bet. We're going to go a $25 ATS, and we're going to go a $10 pass line. And everything's up. So here we go, 3-2-3-6. Matter of fact, we're going to start this one off different. We're just going to start right off. I'm going to put a $2 any craps out there. Got my fire bet up, got my ATS money up. I'm going to start this one off with a 6-4-6-5. I'm just going to see if I can go ahead and get some of these extremes out of my way early. And we got to come out 7. So that gains 10. It loses 2 here. So we get $8. I don't know what that does on the come out. I don't think it bothers your fire bet. So we lose 2 here. We win 10 here. So we get 8. Ultimately, we get 8 because we'd have to re-up this. Now, we also have to re-up ATS. So, ATS is back up. Fire bet didn't never get knocked down. The $2 any craps is up. The $10 pass line's up. So, that was a come out 7. So, the come out 7 don't necessarily hurt your SRR. I mean your SOR. It only hurts your SRR. 3236. Dice for that. Alright, come out 7 again. It's a double pitch. Come out 7, same scenario. We win 8 on the line because we have to win 10, but we're going to re-up our 2. But we got to re-up our ATS. That's going to get expensive. We have to stop that. That's a double pitch. Come out 7. Alright, so if that happens a time or 2, I'm just going to tell the dealer, hey dealer, can I get some different dice? You know, I don't think that's illegal. And if they don't want to give them to you, just chunk one off the table. They'll surely throw you some new ones in. Dice roll. All right, we got a 3-5-8 this time. 3-5. 3-5. Our points are 8 now. Oh, why did I do that? I was supposed to be shooting that 6-4-6-5. I don't know what I'm doing, but anyway, I wouldn't have put my $2 up right here if I wasn't going to be shooting the 6-4-6-5 when we come out. See, now I can shoot the 6-4-6-5, and it's not going to bother nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and do 6-4-6-5. But I'm not even going to put any, well, I'll do this. I'll do a $30, let's see. We'll do a $30, let's see. We're going to do 25 in odds. We're going to do a $30 6. We're going to do a, let's see. We're going to do a $25 5. No, I don't want to do that much. Let's just do it this way. Let's do 2 units there, 3 units there, 2 units on the field. We're not going to do that. We're only going to do 3 units on the back of this. 3 units in odds. All right, there we go. And we're going to do the 6-4-6-5. Yeah, that's probably what I should start doing. To hop that, yeah, hedge that out because I've knocked that $25 off a few times on those come outs. I'm just going to play somewhat of this iron cross for a moment while I'm using this 6-4-6-5 to try to net some of those extremes. We got a hard 4, 2-2, so that pays in the field. That 4 pays in the field. It hits one of our, so I get $10 on the field. I was about to pay myself out of my own money. All right, so now I can spread to the 9. So I've got all the inside covered now. I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna play the iron cross. The 9 actually is a good number. I'm gonna use the 5-4. I don't know why I'm jumping. I'm using the 6-4-6-5, but I keep trying to set my dice on the cross on the 3V set. But yeah, this iron cross, if you got money on the 9, pays double. And there's aces. So aces in both places. So there is the 6-4-6-5 paying dividends. All right, so why it paid dividends, I call that like that because it hit an extreme number. That's a primary dice set hit, and I've got $10 in the field. So it pays 20. It pays 2 to 1. And of course, a lot of casinos have got away from it, but if David from Casino Quest is saying it might be coming back around to where these are going to start back paying triple, it'd be great. All right, so now, I mean, what can I do? I can go ahead and start pressing everything up a little, or I can just take what I just made and get every number. But I'm just going to start pressing everything up a little. So basically, I was able, right there, I was able to give everything a $5 press. Well, the inside numbers. And I'm going to use the 6465 again with the iron cross. It's a little more of an iron cross now because I've got the 9 out there too. But I'm still needing to net the 12. That's why I'm sticking with the iron cross. All right, so I hit a 628. So I hit my point. The 8's already marked. It pays 10 on the front, and it pays, what does it pay, 6 for every 5 on the back. So it pays 25. No, it pays 24. It pays 24 on the back, it pays 6. It pays 6 for every 5. I've got 20 back there, it pays 24. So there, the odds pay 24. I picked that bet up. I picked the place bet up. I lose that field bet. That was an 8, so the field bet is lost. The points made. The first fire bet chip goes up. And let's see where we stand. So what we could do with what we just won off of that, making that 8, we could go ahead and start here. We don't even have to fool with the iron cross at this point any further. We can actually just start everything right here. Take this back up a little bit. And now, let's do that. Now we're at 44 inside. The iron cross helped pretty much build that. So we're just going to stay right there. We need the 3 and the 5. We still need the 12. We still need the yo. So let's go with a $2 any 7. I mean a $2 any crowd. 6465. And we'll go with them. We'll hop the reds. We'll hop the reds for $2 each. I'm just going to leave them right there. We'll hop reds for $2 each. That just to kind of, I mean, that will protect somewhat of your, that $2 each will protect mostly the quarter that you got on ATS. So yeah, that's a good idea. All right, 6465 on the set. Here we go. Nice route. Oh, I've got 6565. So 6465 on the set. Here we go. It's a come out, so no place bets are working anyway. And we got the 459. 6465. That's an on-axis primary hit. So our points are 9. Our any 7 and our any craps is down. That's $8 we lost. That's the price of. That's just the price of it. Our new points are 9. We've already hit an 8, so we're looking good for our fire bet. We have got our money. We can take this $10 and put it behind instead of having it on a place bet. And yeah, we're good. So let's mark the 9 over here. So we need a 10, 11, and 12 on the high. We need a 3 and a 5 on the low. So we're going to go with the 6465. We'll stay with that for a moment. We only basically got 44 inside, and the majority of that was coming from the iron cross. So it's not like we got a lot invested on this year. We have a lot invested if you want to start talking about the all small. Now we hit aces again. That's an on-axis primary hit. Keep that in mind. 6465, this is an on-axis primary hit. That's a good sign because, you know, that's what I'm trying to hit is on-axis. dice roll. And there's a 3. So that right there is an on axis single pitch. On axis, AC deucey. On axis, single pitch. So all we need now is 5. Let me see what you're saying. I got to fix my boxes a little bit. Let me see what you're saying here. Using the crosses lately to keep the money exposure down has been working fairly well. Slow profits, but have won at least 5 out of 6 sessions. Still playing on casino money. Absolutely, that's wonderful. I've got to expand my box a little bit so we can get all that information in there. I've just got my camera. I got to do some work to my OBS ever since my computer crashed. I hadn't took the time to do it. But here we are at the point of only needing a 5. If we hit a 5, we win $350. We got $10 bet on ATS. We can lay the 5, or we can take this 10 down and lay the 5, or we can just keep shooting. I still need a 10, 11, and 12. So what I think I'm going to do, as long as I'm shooting this 6-4, 6-5 set, I think I'm going to utilize this field, because 6-4, 6-5 produces a lot of field numbers. I mean, everything on the 6-4, 6-5 dice, every primary hit and most single pitch hits is a field number, except for that 5 right there. There's a aces, there's a 9, there's a 12, and then single pitch. You got a yo, you got a 5, you got 3, and you got 9. So see, just about every single dice roll on this 6-4, every single hit with the 6-4, 6-5, I'm going to be using the field money. So I'm going to stay with 6-4, 6-5. And I need the 10, 11, 12. I need the 5. So this set, single pitch or primary, can carry the 5. And it didn't that time. It carried the 7. So we have to see what happened. 6-4, 6-5. The 6-4 dice, the left dice did something. The right dice stayed on axis. So our 6-4 dice exploded. Our 6-5 dice stayed on axis. But that exploded and created the 5-2-7. So we lost everything that time. But that's the way it is. We only needed a 5. We could have laid the 5. And if I would have laid the 5 in the real play with real money, with me having 10 up there, I would have laid that 5. I'd have pulled that 10 down. So that 10 would have been in my rack, but I'm not going to put it in my rack. And I would have laid it for what? 210 to win 180. That's about the right amount. So I would have laid it for 210 and won 180. But if I'd have hit the 5, I'd have lost the 210 and I'd have won 350 minus 210, so I'd have won 140. So yeah, 210 would have been about the right amount. But since I was doing this at my own table, so I would have definitely in the casino laid that 5. To lock up that profit for sure. So let's go. Over to the scene, to the camera. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the 6465, I mean, if you just look at your dice, you have a lot of field numbers on that dice set. So if you're a field player or you like the Iron Cross, definitely use that set. I mean, you know, well, I say it like this. If you roll a lot of on-axis hits, whether they're single pitch, the 6-4, 6-5, I don't think it's going to double pitch and give you a, well, yeah, this, of course, the 6, anything with 6s is always can double pitch and give you a 7. But I think the 6-1 or the 1-6 is the only way, because you can't get a 3 off of this side. You've got a 4, but you cannot get a 3 if you're on axis. You've got a 1, we've done demonstrated you can get to the 6. And then on this one, when you get to 3, you can't get to a 4. So when it works the same way here. I mean, well, that's the same thing. So the only way the double pitch, but yeah, if you throw a lot of on-axis hits and you like to play the field, 6-4, 6-5 produces a lot of field numbers, and it produces that aces and 12s quite often. And if you're a field player, you know, a lot of casinos very seldom now are still paying triple over here on the 12, but there are a few. But still, at double pay, you know. And I was even thinking about this earlier. You know, why put all that money out there on them place bets? Because you're just going to lose. I mean, yeah, you might get a few hits, but if you keep building it, building it, building it, it's eventually leaving. I mean, it's eventually gone. So why not utilize something like your cross, like your primary numbers? Just like I just showed about the 6-4, 6-5. Why not use like the 3-2, my 3-2, 3-6 set, this V set here, it produces on axis. Yeah, the V set. So do you do the 3-2, 3-6? Because if you do, the hard 6 and the hard 4 are your primary hits. Alright, so check it out. So if them are your primary hits, why put all that money out there on all them place bets? Yeah, it's fun to get that money. Don't utilize the field if you're using the 3V, because you're not going to get a lot of field numbers. You're going to get a lot more 6s and 8s than you are that's going to, you're going to get a lot of 5s, 6s, and 8s with this set. This set is designed for inside hits. So 1 out of 4 is a field number. The other 3 are not field numbers. So why would you play the field? All right, but what you can do on this is you can hop, or you can play now this might sound a little strange, but I have this theory in my mind. You know, go ahead and play your 6 and 8 for 30 each. That's what you're mainly shooting for. Or if you want to go ahead and go to your 5, if you want to go ahead and go to all 4 inside numbers, that's okay. But why not take a chance on hopping the hard ways? Not just playing the hard ways out here, but hopping them. I mean, your primary hits are the 3 and the 6 and the 8. They're on axis. I mean, you have a primary hit of a 8 right there and a 6 right here. So you have 2 ways to hit the 8 on this set and 2 ways to hit the 6 basically. But check it out. So if you're hopping them, let's say we're gonna hop the 6s and 8s for what, 2 each? It's gonna get kind of expensive. All right, let's see. What do we stand to win on any hit right there? $35, right? So how many 6s is there? There's 2 6s, 5 and 1, and 3 3. And there's 2 8s. No, there's 3 8s. 5 3, 2 6, and 4 4. So that's 5 numbers you would have to cover. So do you want to cover them for $5 each? It's only a quarter. So that's hopping 5 numbers each time for $5 each. Now, if the hop, well, you're hopping everything. At first I said hop the hop the hard ways. But now I'm talking about hopping all 6s and 8s, because this set right here should produce you a 5, 6. This set right here should produce you a 6 and 8 fairly. Let's see, did I get that right? 4 2, 5 1, and 3 3. Okay, so it's 6 numbers. So you'd have to hop them for 30. It's 6 numbers times $5 each. Hey, what's up, Robert? How's it going? So I was just sitting here going through some stuff. I was thinking about this right here. Let me do something right here on this right quick. I'm going to refresh this because how I've got that set up, I don't like that font color. So go ahead and shoot me another. Let me test it now. Let me see what color I get. I've got to change. So I'm getting a red over there now. It's not much better, but it's a little better than that pink. I could change this a little bit. I have to resize some of my stuff and get it right, but that red background, I can see who it is now. That pink background, I couldn't tell who y'all were. I could see what you were writing. It was taking a little bit for me to see it. All right, so check it out. We've got 3 ways to hit a 6 and 3 ways to hit an 8. So that's 6 ways. So if I'm going to hop the 6s and 8s every hand, think about it now. Hopping them, the hard ways pay you 30 to 1. The easy way pays you 15 to 1. Or you can just play it down here and you don't have the easy ways down here though. But let's say I'm going to hop them for 30 each. All right, I'm playing the 3-2-3-6 set. So let's just see what happens here. Let's cut the puck off. Now, if we're going to hop them on the come out, we might as well be playing out here on the come out. So let's don't hop on the come out. Let's just not hop on the come out, but let's don't even worry about that. Let's just pretend that we've got a point established, like the 4. It doesn't even really matter. This is just mainly for what happens. So let's just pretend we got a point. It don't matter what the point's on. I don't really care about that. Because I'm not worried about the pass line, and I'm not thinking about ATS right now. I'm just wanting to demonstrate how this hop bet could work. If we're shooting with a 3-2-3-6 dice set, why are you not utilizing the numbers off of this set? That's all I'm asking. And if you want to utilize the numbers, you can bet it out here to cover here, but you don't have to, because why put all this 110 at risk every row when any 6 and 8 hits, you're going to get paid big off the hop. So why not just use a quarter on the 5 and 9 and save this other 60? So instead of putting that 60 up, put 30 up for the hops. Let's see what happens. We're using a 3-2. Yep, I'm glad you got your camera hooked up. Sounds great. Awesome. So I'm just trying to demonstrate if this would be good or bad. So we're hopping all 6s and 8s. There's 7. So that would definitely be terrible. That would definitely be terrible because we'd lose this quarter, and this 30. All right, before I go to losing and moving money, I want to count up where I was at after that last session. Because that last session I had an SOR of 11 after 44 rows, but I didn't get to counting the money. I got talking about something else. There's $33, 100, 200. So there's 233 plus 5. So this is 733 plus 8. So that's $1,533. So that's a $533 profit after 44 rows. The 44 rows consisted of 11.0. All right, so let me go back to this because that didn't turn out good. 4-3 was a. So now let's do this. We know we got 1533. Let's take this 533 away. There's our $1,000. All right, so there's our $1,000. What we want to do right here is the puck's off. We're going to just like a come out roll. Puck's not working. All right, here we go. 3-2-3-6 on the set. We're just going to start this all back at the beginning. I want to demonstrate hopping with the 3V set. 3V is supposed to produce 6s and 8s. It's actually supposed to produce a lot of inside numbers. All right, so we got a 6-5 right here, yo. I'm not going to worry about ATS. I'm going to pay the yo. I'm going to pay the yo because I'm going to keep up right here. 3, 2, 3, 6. I'm going to keep up for a few throws just to see what this, see what the hops do. All right, there's a 5, 1, 6, or 1, 5, 6. So there's a 1, 5, 6. So now we have a point established. All right, so here we go. We're going to play the 5 and 9, and we're going to hop this all 6s and 8s for $5 each, which is 3 and 3. You got the 3, 3, the 4, 2, the 5, 1. You got the 4, 4, the 5, 3, and the 6, 2. So you got 6 numbers, $5 each, hopping 6s and 8s. So we got the 6 and 8s hopped that away, protected that away. We got the 5 and 9 here. You know, so, you know, if we don't hit one of the 4 inside numbers, which this dice set is set up for them 4 inside numbers. So that's what we're trying to do. Utilize what dice sets are producing what numbers. And there's a 5, 6, 5 yo, so that we'd lose 30. So that's a $30 down. It's not the greatest of things. We're gonna put it back up. We're just gonna drop. We're gonna drop the loose losses over here. 3, 2, 3, 6. We're supposed to be able to hit some 6s and 8s with this dice set now. If we can't hit our primary numbers, this might not be a good showing. And there's a 4, 6, 10. So again, there's another $30 loss. So if we can't hit our primary numbers, you know, this might not be a very good thing. We have to be able to stay on axis. That's all we have to do. If we can keep our dice on axis, you know, 75% of the time, we're going to do all right with it. All right, there's a 9. So see the 9, even though we lose our 30 hop, we win 35 here. So see, look. So basically, they just going to give us back 5 because we're going to keep our 30 up here. 25 is going to pay 35, so we're going to rack 5. We're going to put our 30 back up. So this is what we're trying to show. If you're shooting with a 3V, and this right here produces a lot of inside numbers, why are you not hopping them? I don't want to hop them every time. Let me rephrase that. I don't want to hop every inside number. I want the 5 and 9 to be out here to help bring a little bit of the money back. So there's a 4, so I lost 30 again. So this has to be able to hit. Now this has to be able to hit. You have to be able to stay on axis. So far I'm not staying on axis really good. That's right. But if you can get yourself dialed in, and this is an extremely bad, terrible situation there. Because you lost, and then you lost at the end. So this was an extremely poor showing of that. Because there's 175 down. So that was an extremely poor showing because I couldn't stay on axis. So let's try it again. Let's try it again. $10 pass. We're going to do it again. Yeah, you might play the iron cross to offset that. Might be the best thing, but if I'm going to use this dice set, the cross V, I don't want to play the iron cross because this dice set, like earlier, I was staying on axis pretty good, so it was producing the cross, the 6, 4, 6, 5 was producing all those field numbers, but the 3, 2, 3, 6 won't produce them like that. If you're staying on axis. See, now there's one right there. So 3, 6, 9. 3, 2, 3, 6. That's an on axis single pitch. That was a 6. So now we're back. Maybe we're back to staying on axis now. Let's just give it another rip. We might just have got ahead of ourselves a little bit on the throw. So Let's see if we can get some on-axis hits. If we can get on-axis hits, we're going to hit these 5s and 9s and 6s and 8s. We should hit them, you know, pretty decently regularly. 1 out of every 2 to 3 rows, we should be hitting one of them numbers. At least 50% of the time. If we can stay on axis. There's a hard way 6. Alright, hard way 6. Now the dealer would want to smack my hand right now because they didn't hit the back wall, but that would have been the first time, so he would have just given me a warning. But look, I hopped that hard way 6 for $5. That don't pay over here like this 9 to 1 crowd. It pays 30 to 1. So that right there pays $150. Alright, but this is what he's going to do. $150, 5 of it stays up for the hard 6. The rest of it goes down, so I have to re-up part of it. But I got $125 in my rack. Alright, my point's still a 9. This is what I'm saying. If you're playing, whatever set you're playing is what numbers you need to shoot at. Instead of just putting all that money out there across and hoping it builds and builds and builds, it's finally going to get whacked off. So the thing is, if you're hopping, it's not costing near as much. Because instead of me having 30 there and 30 there, and only winning 35, that one hit produced me a $125 profit with only half the amount of money at risk. So instead of me having 60 up here and only winning 35, I only had 30 up and profited 125. That's all I'm trying to demonstrate. So this dice set, if you can keep yourself on axis, utilize the numbers that the dice set is supposed to produce. That's all I'm trying to demonstrate. There's a 628 or 268 on axis, primary hit 26. So this pays 15 to 1. All right, so 15 times 5, it pays 75. All right, this nickel stays up. The rest of them lose. So I have to re-up. So again, instead of me having 60 up and only winning 35 for 60 at risk, I've only got 30 up and I got a profit of 50 and I'm back up. So I actually got a profit of 75. I could actually have 80 and down. So 3236 is the set. So all I'm trying to demonstrate is stay on axis and take what the dice give you. All right, that's a 527. So I'm off axis. 3236. The right dice imploded. Or no, exploded. So I lost it all. Well, I didn't lose it all, but I lost 50, 80, and my pass line. So I lost 90. I lost 90 and a couple of 25s. But look, it didn't take near as much at risk to win. So let's give it one more rip. $10 pass line. Here we go. Let's just see. We're going to give it one more rip because we can probably go a little better than that. But we did have like 2 hits back to back off of it. And it's easier to lose 90 than it is to lose the 110 or the 220. That's all I'm demonstrating is whatever dice set you choose to use, know your numbers. Know your dice. And if you get dialed in at the table and are landing on axis, so we have a front line loser. We got a 213. That's an on axis. That would be an on axis single double 3236 would be a single pitch. Actually, it's a double pitch. 3236 is a double pitch. Just like that. All right, so 3236. So here we go. That's an on axis double pitch. All right, there's a 325. 325. So the right dice imploded, or exploded, excuse me. We got a 5. All right, so our points are 5. So here we go. We want quarter, quarter, and 30. Now, I'm not hopping the 5s and 9s. I don't want to hop those. I only thought about this the other day. It's the first time I've actually tried it, so I don't even know if it's going to work. I just thought that it should work, so I'm not even sure. I mean, you're probably right, Robert. And when I first thought about this, I was only thinking the hard 6 and 8. But just when I started demonstrating it, I'm like, well, the 3-2-3-6 produces, if you stay on axis, the 3-2-3-6 produces that 8 and that 8. It produces that 6 and that 6. So I mean, yeah, you're probably correct. That's what I'm saying. This is the first time I've tried this, so I don't know how good or not it's not going to work. I'm just saying, instead of me having 110 out there right now and only making like $35 off of a hit, right now I've only got 90 out there. No, I ain't even got 90 out there. I've got 80 out there. And if I can get a hard way, because this set should produce it, then to me this makes more sense than putting those numbers across. This is determined that you can stay on axis. There's $30 loser, so I have to give them that 30. And you know, this is probably going to be determined that this is the wrong play. I mean, I don't know. This might be like way too much of a house advantage for playing them hops every time. I don't know. One thing that had crossed my mind in the past was the 6s. There's a 6 right there. That pays 75. It leaves one nickel up, and I have to replace the other one. I have to replace the quarter. This brings another thing to my mind. Why not play the 6-4-6-5? Shoot like I was shooting earlier with the 6-4-6-5, which is a horn set, basically. Play the iron cross and hop the 12 or hop the deuce. You don't have to put near as much money up to hopping the 12 and the 2. Actually, you could play the horn bet. You could hop the all 4 horn numbers every time for 20 instead of the 30. So that might be the better route. Because then, let me shoot this one out. Then I'm going to try that one. I've got myself thinking now. I really think I'm going to like that a lot better. Because it don't take as much. It's not as many numbers to hit them extremes. And you got the field that's going to help generate some of this down money every time. All right, so that was not good neither. There's another 7. All right, so this was not the very best of demonstrations because I didn't hit enough 6s and 8s. I hit some. But let's do this. Let's reload our $1,000 bankroll. Let's reload that. Let's just think on this a minute. Okay, so 6-4-6-5. All right, there's my $1,000 bankroll. Let's do the 6-4-6-5 dice set. Let's do a $10 pass line just to shoot. We're going to do a 6-4-6-5 dice set. And we're going to be playing the iron cross. I'm going to come out. We're not protecting the 7. We're not protecting the $10 because we're not playing an ATS. But on normal circumstances, we'd probably be hopping it for 6 and hopping the any crouch for 2 with this dice set. And see, it would have paid ours. It would have helped us right there. 6-4-6-5. It's on axis. Single pitch. We produced a 3. So we're already on axis right here. So, I don't know. If we're going to shoot this dice set, we probably ought to play every roll. Because the dice don't know if it's to come out or not. Doesn't really matter. We wasn't playing it. We're going to re-up our $10 pass line. We're just going to... we're playing the 6-4-6-5, so we know we are playing... I'm not playing ATS, but I'm going to play the any crouch because I'm playing a crouch bet. I'm playing any crouch for $2. I should have been playing it the last time. earlier session when I was rolling, I was playing it on the come out rolls. After the come out, you don't have to continue to play that. Alright, so now we got a 5-1-6. 6-4-6-5. I think our left dice, did it explode? It exploded. But we got a 6. Our point's a 6. Alright, this is what I was thinking. 6-4-6-5. Alright, we lost this. Alright, so now, instead of having to hop that $30, we're going to hop all 4 horn numbers, because this dice set produces a lot of field numbers, and it produces the ace deuce, the 6-5, the 6-6, and the ace-ace. So every reel, we're going to hop the horns. We're going to hop the aces, 3s, yos, and 12s. We're hopping horn numbers. Yep, 6-5, 5-6. Yeah, I like that one pretty good too. But also, I'm playing an iron cross. But since my 6 is covered, I don't have to play that one. I'm playing 3 units on the 8, 2 units on the 5, and 2 units on the field. Playing an iron cross, and I'm hopping horns. I'm hopping the horn. I mean, I could just play straight horn bits, but I like to, I'm thinking this hop. Here we go. Just trying something. I haven't sat down on paper and figured this out. I'm just trying something. Now, I lost my 10 here, I lost my 20 here, and I win 15 here. Well, I win 14. So, I'll give myself 4. I'll give myself 4 right here. That takes care of the winning here and re-upping that. I have to drop the new 20 in for that. Alright, so here we go. Have to drop the new 20 in for the hops over there. I'm hopping the horn. I'm going with 6-4-6-5. Like I said, I hadn't sat down on paper and seen how this is going to work out. I just know earlier the iron cross was producing a lot of field numbers, and I was staying on axis, catching my aces and my 12s. There's an ace 3-4. So the field gets paid 10, but I lose 20 here. So what I'm seeing right here what I got to do. All right, so I'm going to win 10 here. I got to re-up it there, so I lost 10 ultimately. So I'm seeing what I got to do here. I'm seeing what I got to do. I've got to up that. I need to up the field to a 20. I need to up the 5. I only have to up the field to 15 and up the 5 to 15. I've already got the 8 at 20, at 18, and I'm supposed to have odds on the 6. So I've got 3 units on the 6. All right, so there we go. Now, that 6-4-6-5, that field will help now eliminate. It won't cover it all the way. The hopping the horn, it just pays. It pays for the aces and the 12. It pays 30 to 1. For the 3 and the 2, for the 3 and the 11, it pays 15 to 1. It shows it out here, but it's the same payout up there. So this time I hit the 5-1-6. So I lost the hop, I lost the field, and I made the money right here on the odds. So it pays me 10 on the front, and it pays me 18 on the back. So it didn't pay me quite enough, but it paid me 28, and I lost 35. So I'm just trying to figure this out. That's all I'm trying to do. So I really have still got money left over when I pull my odds down. But that doesn't help me much. Or not, when I pull my odds down, I still had 8 left over. That don't really help me much because ultimately I'm going to have to probably put those 10 more back in there. So really I only have to put 10 back up to have all my bets back out. So yeah, it pays the same as the horn, yeah. Ace, what's going on? So now I'm going to come out again. I'm working everything on the come out. I'm working everything on the come out. Because I'm hopping the horn, so I don't have to play any craps. I'm hopping the horn numbers, so I don't have to cover any craps. Only thing hurts us here is that, well, the 8 don't help us much, but it don't kill us. We do lose a pretty good bit when we hit the 8. We win 21, right there. We lose 20 and we lose 15. Well, we have to replace that, so let's just do it like this. That's 35 we have to put back up because we have to recover the field and cover the hops. So we have to actually invest another 14 by hitting that 8. Actually, not really. Another 11 because we're going to get to pull that 3 down and rack it and move that 15 back there. So we actually have to invest $11 more. So if you're not hitting on the axis, none of this crap's going to work. So only thing I'm trying to demonstrate is if you can get tuned in, if you can get dialed in. See, now right here, this is a hard way forward. It is in the field, but it still didn't get on our, we're still not right on the axis. So it pays us 15 in the field, and we lose the 20 there. So we have to drop another nickel to keep that hop bit going. Keeps everything even. All I'm trying to demonstrate is if you get on axis and if you get dialed in at the table and you're throwing on axis pretty good bit, these hop bets are probably going to benefit you a lot better than putting money on the place bets. But right now I can't get my dice to get on axis right. I've got a 6 again, so it pays 21 right here. I lose 15 and I lose that, so I have to actually invest another 14. So I'm going to invest 15. So I still might not have quite enough money right here. I might have to do something a little different. And yeah, so maybe on the 6s and 8s, what I need to do is put quarters out there instead of these. So yeah, I think that's where I was at earlier. So maybe put quarters out here on this. And now if I hit a 6 or 8, I'm going to lose the hops and I'm going to lose the field. I put a quarter there, I put 30 here. But if I hit the 6, that 30 is going to cover everything. So it's going to be break even. If I hit a 5, maybe this one's the same way. Maybe I got to put a quarter right there. That looks like that's going to be more closer to the right range. That way, that pays 35, that pays 35, and this one pays 28. 25, no, it pays 30 right here. So but I got this too. So if I hit the 8, I'm going to get 35 here. Actually, I'm going to get 40 from these two. So I'll have enough to cover everything. If I hit a 5, it covers everything. And if I hit a 6, it covers everything. Other than that, if I hit the 4, the 9, or the yo, no, the 4, the 9, the 4, the 9, or the 10, I'm only going to have to put $5 back in. Yep, hitting those hops 3 times. And that's what I'm saying. That's all I was trying to demonstrate is if you can get your dice on axis, if you can start throwing your dice and you get dialed in at the table and you get on axis, you can start utilizing hop bets better than you can. All right, so here's a prime example. All right, so the 5 pays 35. There's 15 of it there and there's 20 of it there, so it costs nothing. That costs nothing. So 6465. I mean, it costs. The dealer's going to do all the movement. He's going to pay it all. He's going to pull that down, and give you 35. And you're going to tell him to put it back up. But for my sake, I'm not doing all that work. Ace, most of the time, I used the 3236, but today, all right, there's the 10. So there's an example of where the 10 kind of hurts you. It don't really hurt you. You get paid right here, 15. So you just have to give the dealer the 15 and a nickel to re-up your hops. Normally, Ace, I use the 3236, but today, but when I'm shooting for the ATS a lot of times, and all I'm doing right here is just incorporating different things into my strategy, because my normal strategy is 3236 dice set. Starting out with 220 inside, taking one hit, and that's $70, because if I got 220 inside, any one of them numbers is going to pay me 70. I'm going to take that 70 and I'm going to spread it to the outside, 35 on 4 and 10. The very next hit, I'm going to reduce, I'm going to collect 70 and reduce my whole board down to where I'm just about out of the hand. But I'm going to keep using that 3236 to try to hit some of the ATSs, because I'm playing that every time. And then when I'm only needing some of the extremes, like the 2, 3, 11, 12, I'm going to resort back over to this set, the 6465. So when I was doing this earlier with the 6465, I started thinking about something that I had on my mind the other day about hopping the 6s and 8s with the 3236 set. Then I've transitioned over to checking to see what happens here. So that's all I'm really doing, is just adding more practice scenarios to what I'm already doing. That way when I change dice sets, I don't have to cut my bets completely off. I can still have this other stuff working. And if I'm dialed in on the dice sets and I practice this here, I'm more likely to incorporate it live. But I want to practice and test it here first. So there's a 246. So 30 pays 35. So there's 15 of it there I have to replace, and 20 of it for my horns. So there we go. So it's not costing anything right now. It's just a way of being able to make money while I'm shooting for the ATS without having to cut my place bets off and not having to put as much money on the table. But this all is dependent upon you are on axis. You know, if you're not on axis, like right here, that right dice is not on axis. It exploded. Because if it was on axis, it would be over here on this. It would be on a 6, a 5. So, it'd be, you know that 4 is not an on axis part. So that 5 pays 35, 15 of it here, 20 of it there. I don't have to move any money. So this is all I'm doing is just trying to demonstrate, but I can't keep my dice on axis. That's probably what the deal is. All right, there's a good example right there. Now them dice are on axis. That's a primary hit. That lets me mark my ATS. That lets me get the 12 off of the board for the ATS. It pays double right here. So I wasn't having to change money a while ago because I'm hitting numbers and it's replacing this. The 5, 6, and 8 hits is going to replace these numbers. The only time I'm having to ante back up is when either a 4, 9, or 10 comes, and all I got to do is put 5 more with it. But I hit a 12. That pays double on my table. I've got 15 out there, so it pays 30 there. I've got a nickel on the 12. It pays 30 to 1. It pays 150. I lose these 3, but it gives me 150 for that nickel, and that nickel stays up. These 3 nickels go down. So I have to replace them 3 nickels for the horn again, and I get to rack all this. So, you know, that's all I'm demonstrating is if you can get your dice on axis, use these hot bets. All right, so that's a 6-6. That's on axis. So I would stay with this set because I'm still looking for I've hit a 3, but that was on the come out, and I wasn't betting it. I didn't have my money up or something. Anyway, I'm not even going. I know I've hit an 8. I know I've hit a 12, so I'm just going to mark my ATS starting right now because this is basically what I'd be doing. I'd be playing 3-2-3-6 until I needed to move over to a different set. And there's a 2, 3, 5. So the 5 is 25 out there. It pays 35. 15 of it goes here and 20 of it goes there. You just tell the dealer same bet. So he's going to give you the 35. You re-up your 15 and you throw him back 20 and tell him to put your hot bets back up. 6, 4, 6, 5. So basically not costing nothing. I mean, you're at risk that money that's out there, but it didn't cost you any extras, all I'm saying. You're at risk every time you got money out there. There's 2, 6, 8. All right, so you lose your hops and you lose your 30 here. I mean, your 15 here. So that's 35. You win 10 here. Odds pays 30. So look there. You replace your 35 right there, and you still got 30 going in your rack. Your 35 is for 15 there and 20 there. So everything's back up. You've got 30 going in your rack, but instead of putting it in my rack, I might as well just put it to the dealer and tell him to put it on my 8. So basically, that money, I'm still even. So the 6, 8, the 6, 8, the 5, 6, and 8, you just keep all your money still in play. You don't lose nothing, you don't add nothing. So we've hit an 8. And also I've been playing a fire bet. The chili horn hop, hey, we can call it that. Absolutely. So 6, 4, 6, 5. And this is the chili horn hop. Ace's signature name for chili horn hop. We're looking for the 6s. We're looking for the aces. Them are primary hits on this dice set. Them are paid big time. So we hit a 7. That's the worst case scenario. We had everything working. That's going to happen too. So you might want to, let's see. That's 85. You win this 10. But you got to put 20 and 35 and 85 back up. So that's 120. We got to go back up with 120. But you know what? That's going to happen. It's going to happen like that. It don't matter really what you play. That kind of stuff right there is going to happen. That's just part of it. That kind of stuff happens just about in any strategy you play. You're going to find times when you 7 out and you cost yourself a nice little chunk. So 7 out. Well, actually, it wasn't a 7 out. It was a come out 7, but I was working everything. So 6, 4, 6, 5. So I'm working everything again. I'm on a chili horn hop dice set, which is 6, 4, 6, 5. And we got 3, 3. We got the hard way 6. So that marks the 6 here. Okay, so that knocks my 8 and my 12 back off for the come out 7. So I would have to re-up ATS. I'm not keeping up with that right now. I'm just marking my numbers. All right, so that 6 pays 35. There's 15. There's 20. So it's up. 6, 4, 6, 5. Here we go. Dice are out. We got AC Deucey. AC Deucey. All right, check it out. We lose 3 of these, but we win 1 of them for 15 times 1. So we win 75 right there. Plus the nickel stays up. All right, over here we win 2, 3. We win 3 right there. All right, boom. So there's AC Deucey. It pays for itself. All right, so what we got to do, we got to give the dealer back those 15 to re-up over there, but we're racking 75. Racking 75. 6, 4, 6, 5. Chili horn hop. Dice are out. All right, we got a 4, 1, 5. So we got a 5 that marks something on our ATS. This 5 place bet covers our hops and our field. So we don't have to. We dealing for ourselves don't have to do nothing. All right, so now I get to take this 25. I put 25 here, and I put this nickel back in my rack. That's just something didn't do, but that's what the casino is going to do for you. They're not going to, I guess they will allow you to place a bet on your number, but they're going to encourage you more to just put it in odds. They're going to tell you it pays better. And that's just something that you kind of got to get used to if you're practicing at home. A lot of times practicing at home is just easier to leave that money on the place bet. All right, we got a 2, 4, 6. So 6 is already marked on our ATS, and that would be our second. Well, yeah, that would be our second fire bet number. All right, so right here, the 6 gets paid on the front 10, and on the back 30. Gets paid 30 right there for the back and 10 for the front. So what we do, we put that there. And we have to give that back to the dealer so it just breaks us even. It breaks us even. So now, if you really wanted to get a little more detail with this thing, you could start using the 4, the 9, and the 10 also like you're using the 5, 6, and 8. That way you never lose money. Because right now, if you hit a 4, 9, or 10, you have to throw the dealer an extra 5 just to cover your house, which is only $5. So this is a come out roll. 6, 4, 6, 5. We're coming out. If we're playing ATS, all we need is 2 and a 4 on the small. We need all the big numbers. All right, there's a 2, 4, 6. So there's a 2, 4, 6 again. So again, we've got 30. It's going to pay 35. So it's going to pay 15 here and 20 there. That covers that. We get to pull this back down, put our odds behind, and rack 5. Our 6 is already marked. So 6, 4, 6, 5. Oh yeah, Robert, you could do that absolutely. You could do that. There's so many options with this game. And there's an 8. So the 8's going to do the same thing essentially. It's going to pay 35 here. You're going to put your 15 back there and your 20 back there. That's what I'm just demonstrating with this. So I'm just marking up numbers. I'm just marking up numbers with ATS. I'm just marking up numbers. Throwing this set. Looking to hit the hard 12 and the hard. Looking to hit the 12 and the 2 really is what I'm looking to hit for this set. You know, and there's a hardway 8, so it's the same scenario. It pays 35. You re-up your 15 and re-up your 20. So 6, 4, 6, 5. And like I said, all this I'm showing about these hops are very dependent on you getting comfortable at the table and getting dialed in on your throw. If you can do that, there's a 4. So it pays me 15 here, but I lose. All right, so that hits my 4. All I'm down to needing is an aces to hit the small. All right, so I have to give them an extra 5 because it pays me 15, but I'm having to replace the 20. So let's just keep it. Let's just keep it like that. So yeah, I'm down to needing only the aces for a $10 all tall small. So you got to realize too, when you hit these aces or you hit the 12, it pays so good that. All right, there's a 5. 5 is basically, it's paying just even. So now what you're saying, Robert, is probably going to be good because you would probably want to take them up a little higher. That way you could be collecting something because you have to have this money coming from somewhere. And if you're not hitting these, I mean, if you hit them just every now and then, it's going to produce enough profit off just 1 or 2 hits that you're going to be above water every time. We just need the 2. And there's a 6, 4, 10. So we mark our 10 over here. And again, we kind of might be what you consider a slow bleed, but not really. I mean, the 10 paid in the field 15, but we're re-upping the $20 hop. So you might consider it a slow bleed. I don't really consider it that. I consider it I'm trying to hit my ATS. I need a 9, 11, and a 12, and I need a 2. So generally when I swap to this set, I cut all my place bets off. So basically I'm just trying to find me, one, okay, so basically when I swap sets, it's because I'm only down and needing extremes. And if I'm needing the extremes, I generally cut everything else off. But what'll happen a lot of times is you'll roll 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and you'll miss number after number after number because you got everything cut off. So I'm just trying to find me a way to go into keeping everything working while I change up to a different dice set, and I utilize what numbers the dice are given. And there's a 2-2, there's a hard 4. So again, I have to drop a nickel. So again, now what you can do, if you remember, it wasn't too far back, I hit that 12, and I hit a 3 on this hand, so then paid me like 75 and 150. So I could have already upped this to a nickel. The only thing, if I do that, this won't actually cover them now. So if I hit the 5, 6, 8, I'm going to have to pay a nickel to play in the field. So, you know, I don't really have to do that. I'm just saying, there were different options. 6, 4, 6, 5. I don't even know what that last roll was. Oh, it was a 10? No, it was a 4? Whatever it was, I've already got it marked on the ATS. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing, is finding alternatives dice set. And there's a 4, 6, 10 again, so I still have to drop this nickel. 6, 4, 10. So 6, 4, 6, 5. Any dice set that you're using, all I'm trying to do is show how a hot bet can be utilized if you're on axis. But it's all dependent that you got to stay on axis. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Aces in both places. All right, so right there, on axis, primary hit. It pays $3.50 on the small. Let's just go ahead and show that. It pays $3.50 on the small, because I play the all tall small. Anybody that watches me or knows any or plays with me on LFC, I play all tall small, every shooter, every hand, everybody. Alright, that is great. That's what I was trying to do, was change my dice set to hit extremes. All tall small numbers. The 6, 4, 6, 5 set's going to produce me the 2, the 3, the 11, and 12. That's what I'm trying to hit with this 6, 4, 6, 5. When I swap to 6, 4, 6, 5, I want this other ammunition right here to be able to win on every roll. Alright, so look, it pays double. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It pays double there. Alright, it right here, it pays 30 to 1. It pays 150. This is what I'm trying to show. It pays 150 right there, and that $5 stays up. So look what's coming to the rack now. The 350, the 150, and you got to re-up these other 3 horn bets. All that's going to the rack. All right. So see, that's what I'm only trying to display is how this would benefit if you're needing, if I swap sets. I'm just getting myself in this. Alright, so I hit my dice. I hit my chips. Alright, so now I need the 9, 11, and 12. So I would not change dice sets. I would stay with this because I need the 11 and the 12. So 6, 4, 6, 5. I'm still needing the big numbers. Dice are out. And that's all I'm doing is practicing on, there's a 9. So there's my 9. I mark it on the top. I don't have no money on here on the 9, but it pays me 15 here, so I got to drop a nickel to cover this now. Because it pays me 15 and I give him back 20 to cover my horns. So this is all I'm showing is how these hotbeds, they might seem expensive to throw 20 up every time, but the iron cross is pretty much taking care of the bulk of everything. And then when you do get one of them aces or 12s, boom, you rack up big time. I mean, I just showed you aces and 12 paid you $150 off of this $20. So all the other numbers, the 5, the 6, and the 8, they're recycling, they're rinsing and repeating themselves. They're not costing anything. The 4, 9, and 10, they're costing you an extra 5. But I mean, you could throw for a long time to run out $150. You know, so that's all I'm showing. Any dice set you use, if you get dialed in to where you're throwing on axis, you should be utilizing the hotbeds. So there's a hardware 8. That's going to pay $35. 15 of it's going to go back up there, 20 there. So that's not nothing. That's not going to cause me to have to do a whole bunch of changing. I'm needing 11 and 12 to complete a tall. Or actually to complete an all. I've done hit the small. And I've got these 6, 4, 6, 5 cross 6s. And there's an ace 4 or 3-1. So I have to drop a nickel. But yeah, so dropping these nickels is nothing. I'm not worried about dropping a nickel, you know, to keep my hotbeds going. I want to drop that nickel to keep them hotbeds going. That's why I kind of like this iron cross, because the iron cross basically pays every roll. Now something else about the iron cross. There's a 5, so it's going to do the same thing. It's going to pay for itself. That 25 is covering this and that. Here's something else that you can do. If you want to protect with the 7, run you a don't out there right quick. I mean, I just won a 350 small and a 150 from hitting them aces. So what's wrong with throwing a $75 don't out there, or even a 50? Try to run it through there. You know, you can do that. Try to run you a 50 out there on the don't. You know, you just got to get through this one row. I mean, if you want to swap it up when you throw the don't out there and take it off the 6, 4, 6, 5, I would suggest that. I would even suggest cut everything off, put your don't out there, hedge your yo, change your dice set back to your standard, establish a don't. You know, we can try it. We cut everything off. So even though I'm going to leave the odds in the field up, they're off. I'm going to run me a 25 don't out there. I mean a 50 don't. Might as well run it on up to 75. Throw a nickel out for hopping the yo. I'm just going to hop the yo. I'm going to run to my 3, 2, 3, 6 set. And this is just optional. This is something I don't do a lot of. Just showing from a different approach. Just want to establish. All right, to me, that's the best case scenario. A 3-1-4 for a don't. So yeah, I lost my yo, no problem. I established my 75 don't. So that's my 7 basically now. If I hit the 7, I'm getting that 75. So I'm going to lose that 55. There's my 75. I'm going to lose that. I'm going to lose all this 100 or 110 or whatever I got. But I've already made that pretty much anyway. So now the 4 is my enemy. So all that might or might not be necessary. Could have probably just kept what I was doing. I've done hit the small, so I'm no need worried about it. I mean, you know, I'm already into a profit off of this shooter, so it wouldn't matter right there. I mean, I don't want to hit the 4, but there's an acey doocy. So right there, it pays the field for 15. It pays 75 for that 5. And that 5 stays up. And I re-up that. There's my 75 that I just put on my 4. It's back in my rack. and I still got my 7 money up. So when the 7 comes, so I hit the 3. I'm still looking for the big number, the 11 and the 12. Still got the dice set going for it. But that 3 was an on-axis hit too, single pitch. There's a 5. So the 5, it's just going to rinse and repeat. It's going to pay, well, that's back off. You know why that was back off. The 5 pays here and here. The 35 goes there and there. So 6, 4, 6, 5. We're looking for the extreme 11, 12. We'll take any aces and any 3s. We'll take any of the 4 extremes. That's really what we're looking for off this dice set. There's a 7. So, you know, we didn't get our tall, we didn't get our all. We lose right here. But see, we run that dome out there. Look what it does. It pays us right there. The rest of this money's down. But oh well. I mean, the rest of that's down. There's 50 bucks. There's 50 bucks that's down. Oh well. So we lost 50. We lost 50 out of all that. But how much did we win? I mean, we won the small. We hit them extremes several times. I know we hit the 3 twice. I know we hit the 12 once. I know we hit the aces once. No, we didn't hit the 12 on this hand. But look, we only started with 1,000. We went through for a long time, over and over and over. We did this several times. There's 500 right there. There's 500. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's another 500. Look at this. There's the buy-in right there. There's 100, 200, 300, 400, 475, 500, 5 1/4, 550, 555, 560, $562 profit off of that 6465 6465 dice throw, hopping the horns, the chili horn hop. What do we call it, Ace? What'd you say? Chili horn hop. Hopping the horns and playing the iron cross. And late in the game, after I'd throw for a long time, I went ahead and throwed a $75 DC out there. Just that was just to show that the DC could actually be incorporated. I do that every now and then, but not a lot. But it's not a bad thing to do a don't pass and do a don't pass and do an iron cross. I got my $1,000. That's all I do. I got my $1,000 back up. So that was like a $560 profit off of running through that. Yeah, if I had my money, I hear you. I hear you. If I had the money that I seem to be able to make practicing, but when I get to the table, it seems like sometimes I forget some of that mess that I've practiced. I don't trust some of the things that I've tried, and that's why I like to come out here and practice it, is to get used to it. But just to be honest with you, man, I'd be having a blast if I was out there with the crew right now, because where I've been, all the tables I've been to, I've not known anyone. So with not knowing anyone and not seeing any consistencies in a dice influencer, the majority, the 99% of the time I've been at the casinos this whole year, it's been random rollers. And I'm battling with randoms. So I'm trying to find, so I either have to stand there and I was even told a few weeks back that they're not going to let me stand there without playing, that they needed my money on the table, and I wasn't the shooter. So, that's what they've come to start doing. Yeah, absolutely, Robert. Work on it and tweak it some. You might find some things that work better. But you see, kind of what I was doing. I had enough money bet on the field. I was playing the Iron Cross with the right amounts just on each one of them, that it was covering the 5, 6, and 8 winning was covering the field and the hopping. I was using the dice set that produced me those numbers. So now, Robert, Ace, before y'all got on, I think this got brought up because me and Cheese was talking about, he said how I was using that 6465 and how I was hitting those numbers. So I started talking about the 3V set. Even the 3V. See, here's to me. Here's the thing. This 30-to-1 payout, here it is. Now here's what gets me. 30-to-1 payout. If you look at your felt, even if you look at the casino, they don't always show the bets for they don't show the payouts for the hops, but they show it for the horns. All right, so if you look at the horn bets, aces and sixes, aces and midnight pays 30-to-1. All right, they pay 30-to-1, so that's intrigued me for a long time. If they paid 30 for one, and we had a $5 table, all I got to do is buy in for 150. All right, hear me out. If I buy in for 150 and I tell the dealer to give me all red chips, I want all nickels for $150 buy-in. So they're going to give me $150 in red chips. All right, all I got to do there is stand there if I'm not shooting. And every row, I drop a nickel. I tell the dealer, every row, $5 on 12, $5 on 12, $5 on 12, $5 on 12. Well, look, if it hits one time, let's say I done throw this many nickels down. 5 on 12, 5 on 12, 5 on 12. I done throw that many nickels down. Say it finally hits. All right, boom. $5 pays 30. Pays 30-to-1. So look, there's my $150 buy-in back right there. I've done throw that many nickels in. I still got this many left out of my initial buy-in. All right, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. Every row, $5 buy-in. $5, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. Who knows? It might get lucky and hit again. Boom. If it gets lucky and hits again, now there's another 150, and I might still have some red chips. Now, here's what intrigues me. So that's just that. I just wanted to show you that because of the payout. That's what the 12 and the 2 pays. So now, if we know that, here's the real thinking. Why not set the dice for that? Why not? Why not? If we're dice influencing, why not pick a dice set that's going to pay the best money? The best payout on the table is 30-to-1 until you start getting into the ATS or the fire bet. But that takes a lot of stuff. The ATS takes you to hit them all. So you got to hit the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm just incorporating other things. All right, so then we got to talking about the... Okay, so let me stay with that. 30-to-1. The ace, all hardway numbers if you hop them. These bets, or even though they're called horn bets, they are hop bets. They put them on the table as a group so you can call them horn high this, horn high that. But they are just essentially straight off the hop table. Off the hop area. If they had enough room on a table, they could do every single number like they do these. They pay the same way. Any hardway number, just like the aces and just like the 12, they come out of the hops. Any hardway number is going to pay 30-to-1. Yep, use a set for the horn numbers. That's what I was doing. 6, 4, 6, 5, and hop the horns. Or, if you want to, and this is where before you come in, Robert, I was doing my standard set 3, 2, 3, 6, and if I look at that set, the 2 primary dice, the 2 primary hardways on this set is 6 and 8. 3, 3, 4, 4. So, instead of me just playing right here on the standard hardway, if I'm going to use this set, why not hop the 4 and 6? I mean the 4 and 8, the 6 and 8. Why not hop them? I'm going to have enough money playing the Iron Cross, but that's where you come in. That's what I was doing, and then that's when I really decided it would be better if I'm going to do that hopping stuff, save it to when I change sets, because generally the way I'm going to play, I'm going to put a $10 pass line. I'm going to put a quarter on ATS. That's 10, 5, and 10. All right. After, let's get a point. I'm going with the 3, 2, 3, 6. This is my standard set. This is my standard way. I want to establish a point. There's an 8, 3, 2, 3, 6. That's a primary hit. Primary hit, 2, 6, 8. This is my next move. All right, I'm going to mark the 8 because I'm trying to shoot. I'm always shooting for ATS. This is. Yeah, if you're waiting for them to come back, absolutely. This is a standard play for me. 220 inside. 220 inside with a $25 ATS and a $10 pass line. But there's no need putting the 220 inside. I might as well put the $20, the 50 back there instead of the 60 up there. It pays better. Pays better than odds. All right, this is the 3, 2, 3, 6. This could be expensive if you're going to hop the 6s and the 8s. I was just playing that earlier. And the difference comes in right here where I don't have to put this 60 up for the 6 and 8. I've got 50 of it there. So I don't even have to put 50 of it there. No, I was showing you my standard way. So that's my standard way. So once I get a few numbers, I'm going to swap over to the 6, 4, 6, 5. When I swap over, that's when I'm going to play that other way. But right here in this particular move, I could leave. See, I don't even need any of that right there up. I don't need any of that up. All I need to do is put 30 of that on the 6s, on the 5s and 8s. Yep, that's right. Regress on those. Yep, you can hit a hard way to bring it up, but what I'm saying you can hop all 6s and 8s for $5 each. There's 6 of them, so there's $30 there. Now, instead of me having to put that whole 220 up and having it out here like this is basically having the whole 220 up. Because I got this here and I got this here. So instead of me having that whole 220 up, I'm just going to save this 110 for 30 a piece over here. So that basically gives me 4 shots. 4 shots. So I'm hopping all 6s and 8s right here. Okay. All right, Robert, you take it easy. So what I'm saying right here is if I'm shooting my standard shot, instead of putting my 6 and 8 money up, I'm going to put the 30 up there on the hopping all 6s and 8s. Because if you look at this 3, 2, 3, 6 set that I use, there's an 8, there's an 8, there's a 6, and there's a 6. So it don't matter. If I stay on axis with this set, I'm going to hit a 6 or an 8, just like I was hitting periodically on that other set. I was hitting horn numbers. That's all I'm displaying. Now, the other thing about that, all right, there's a 6 right there, boom. So there's a 6. I hopped the 6s. I hopped all 6s and all 8s. Now I lose this quarter because the other 5 numbers didn't hit. But I get paid $75 for that one. So I get paid $75 for that one. I have to re-up that quarter, and I'm going to put that 50, am I right? This is all I'm displaying. The only thing about this particular strategy, all right, I hit the 6. All right, so yeah, I'm marking ATSs. This is what I'm doing. I'm marking ATSs, and I'm hopping all 6s and 8s. I've got my 50 and 50 here on my 5 and 9. I'm not playing a field on this set because this dice set does not produce field numbers. That's basically what I'm trying to display tonight, is what dice set you're using, know what the productions of them are. There's a 5. There's a 5, so I mark the 5 on my small. I get paid 70 right here for this 5. I lose 30 of it, I have to re-up this 30 right here, so I'm going to get paid $40. I'm getting paid $40. This is all while I'm trying to run my numbers up for my ATS. That's getting paid. Alright? So, basically what I'm saying is 3, 2, 3, 6, I hop the 6s and 8. Yep, the hops pay 15 to 1 on any easy number. But on any hard number, it pays 30 to 1. The 1, 1, the 2, 2, the 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. All the hard ways, even though they're horn numbers, they are still hops. They're in the hop bed. So all hard ways, which a 1, 1 and a 6, 6 is a hard weight number, those pay 30 to 1 on a hop. See, that's why I'm saying know your dice set and know what numbers that it's supposed to produce and utilize it. There's a 6. It's the easy 6, so it's the one that pays 75. The easy 6 pays 75 because I got a $5 bet. It pays 15 to 1. It pays 15 to 1 and I don't lose that money. Now I lose this quarter, but it pays 75. So I put 50 in my rack and I re-up that quarter for the rest of them the rest of them hops. And we've already marked the 6, so we don't have to mark it again. And this is all I'm trying to display, is if you have got your dice to where they're tuned in to where you're throwing on axis, you should be able to pick off several hot bets. All right, now I hit a 10. So I have nothing on the 10 working except that's part of my ATS. So I have nothing working there. Now that's what I was about to get to a few minutes ago. So I lost this 30 this time. So I have to re-up the whole 30. Have to re-up the whole 30. But how many times did I hit the 4s, the 8, the 6s or the 8s before I hit one that wasn't a 6 or an 8? So that's okay. I re-up this 30. This is what I was going to say last time. On the 6, 4, 6, 5 set, you're playing the numbers and you're playing an iron cross that's going to pay you basically every roll. This time right here, you're going to mess out on the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, the 10s, and the 11s and the 12s. You're missing out on those. But I'm not shooting for those yet. I'm on the 3, 2, 3, 6 set that's not supposed to. I'm not keeping a nickel on the 12 right now. What I'm keeping on the only thing I'm playing right now, I got 50 on the 5 and 9, and I got 30. I'm hopping all 3 6s and all 3 8s for $5 each. And I've got my $10 pass line. That's all I'm playing. This right here is profits from this shooter. I've got a $25 ATS. So my normal 3, 2, 3, 6 set is what I utilize to get several of my 4s, 5s, 6s, 8, 9, and 10s on my ATS. When I'm only left with the extremes, the 2, 3, 11, 12, that's when I swap up to that set you seen me on earlier, the 6, 4, 6, 5. So I was just practicing a way to keep the place bets working after I changed sets. Alright, there's a 6, 4, 10 again, so that's not going to help me any. That was a 6, 4, 10. It rode to a 6, 5, 11, but it was a 6, 4, 10. That's not going to help me any because I don't have nothing working right here. But a 6, 4, see, the left dice actually exploded, so I really shouldn't even be, see, that dice didn't stay on axis. I shouldn't be up there. I shouldn't be on those 6, 4. Not with this 3, 2 set. That left dice exploded. So if I stay on axis, I'm not going to be up there on those 6, 4, 10. But I was that time because, I mean, you're not going to stay on axis every time. But I'm just saying if you keep your dices on axis, most of the time, these hot bets are going to work out for you pretty good. If you know what numbers are supposed to be produced. There's a 3, 5, 8. There's a 3, 5, 8. So now that pays 75. Plus to nickel this up, it loses this quarter. but I have to re-up. So this 30 is 6 units of 5s. It's all 3 6s and all 3 8s. I'm hopping. Oh, that was an 8. So I get paid in the front line too. So the point goes off. But, you know, it's up to you. You can play this. You can cut everything not working. On this set, I'm not working to come out, so I don't want to have my hops up. I mean, I'm going to leave them up for myself, but I'm not going to be playing them. They're not going to be on. So I need a 9, 11, and a 12. I need a 2, 3, and 4. So see, at this point in time, it might be a good idea to go ahead and swap over to that 6, 4, 6, 5. But I'm going to stay with this for just a little bit longer. I'm not working to come out. And there's a 10. Good thing I wasn't working to come out. Now that's an on-axis 10 there. The last one was a 6, 4. This is a 4, 6. So this is an on-axis 10. So my point goes to 10. My 10's already marked. I don't have any money on the 8. And the reason I had money, I don't want any money on the 6 or the 8 because I'm hopping all 6s and 8s. But I was not working that hand, so you know, I didn't lose it. All right, 3, 2, 3, 6. All right, so see, I need a 4 and a 9. That's the only numbers I left that's the only numbers I need beside the extremes. So see, this might really well be the scenario where I need to swap sets. It's no need in carrying on with this. But you can. I mean, you can if you want to. You're shooting for the inside numbers. You got all 4 of them covered with a lot less at risk. Because normally I'd have 220 at risk. Right now I've only got 130 out there. So see, if I hit the 7 now, I'm only going to lose 130 instead of 220. But if I hit a 6 or 8, it's going to pay 3 times better than me putting that money out there. That's all I'm showing. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and take this shot, but I really should be changing to the other set. And there's a 2, 4, 6. So again, so see, this hopping is paying for itself. Now I lose this quarter because it's only going to pay one of the ways. And there's 6 ways out there, so I lost the other 5 of them. But it gives me $75 for that easy 6. I'm going to re-up 25 of it. I'm not even going to re-up 25 of it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to change my bets now because I would, at this point, might as well go to the Iron Cross where I was at earlier with the points of 10. So I'd actually have to go 30, 30. I'd actually have to put right here. I'd have to actually put some of my money up. Now I'm going to change sets. So I'm going back to that 6, 4, 6, 5. So I'm hopping all the horn numbers. The 2, the 3, the 11, and the 12. The 2 and 12 are paying 30 to 1. The 3 and 11 is paying 15 to 1. I got an Iron Cross right here that's paying 15 for any number in the field. Plus I got that working. The 5, 6, and 8. That's part of the Iron Cross. So I'm going to swap sets because I'm at a point to I'm only basically needing the extreme numbers. You know, I do need the 9 and I do need the 4, but I need those 4 extreme numbers. And there's a 3. So boom. That die set hit perfect. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to. That's a single pitch on axis. 6, 4, 6, 5. Alright. I hit a 3. It pays in the field. Pays 15 in the field. 1, 2, 3. Alright. 3 of these 4 numbers lost. But 1 of them won. So 1 of them that won pays 15 for 1. It pays me $75. Boom. I'm going to re-up my other 3 for 5 each. And I'm racking $75. And I marked my 3 on my small. So 6, 4, 6, 5. This, what I'm showing is hot bets are a lot less expensive if you're rolling on axis and knowing what your set's supposed to produce. The hot bets are a lot less expensive. There's an ace deuce 3. right back to back. So the same scenario. It pays me 15 in the field. I lose these 3, but it pays there, and it pays me for that 5, it pays me 75. So boom. So it's a profit of $75 off this. And when, if I hit the aces and the 12s, it's going to profit like 150. Actually, it's going to profit 165 because it's going to pay double out here in the field. So 6465. Know your sets. Get your dice tuned in, dialed in to your rolling on axis. 549 or 459. 6465 on axis, primary hit. 6465. 549. I mark my 9. I have 15 in the field. I lose 20 here, so I have to up $5. Okay, so I up $5. Now I got my whole 20 back up on my hops. My hops are up, my horn, my field is up. I'm looking for the extreme numbers now. I'm looking for a 2, 11, a 12, and a 4. That's what I need for all tall small. Dice are out. There's a 10. Boom. Point is made with a 10. Now, 6465, the left dice jumped off axis, but it hit the 10. So I get paid here $10, and I get paid 15 in the field, and I lose this 20. Oh well. Look, I got paid 10 here and 15 here. So boom, I replace my $20, I rack a nickel, and I stay working on the come out. I'm shooting a 6465 dice set. I'm shooting a Crouch dice set. I want these to work. I mean, I don't have to work the rest of it, but I'm working. 6465, I'm working everything. I'm shooting on the, I want the field to work, and I want the horn numbers to work. So I might as well let the iron cross work. I mean, I'm shooting a 6465 dice set. Okay, so I shouldn't have let everything work, but I did. So it'll come out 7. So I wiped myself clear. I wiped everything off. I even lost my ATS. But that happens. That happens with every dice set. That happens with every shooter. That happens with everything. I win $10 here, and I lose the rest of it. So 75, 85, 100, 120. I lose 120. There's 125. Let me take a nickel back. Alright, so now I'm back up. Everything's back up. The all tall small is replaced. Okay, so now everything's back up. I don't want to do that again, so I don't really want to put the 120 out there. Everything's back up. I don't need to shoot for that. I don't need to shoot. But just to show you, even though I lost, there's my 1,000. 75, there's 185 that quick that I won profit from doing these hot bets, even though I just now got whacked with all that money out on the come out. No, actually 185. No. 195, I'm up $205 profit. Alright, I gotta re-up my ATS 25. I have to re-up my front line. Well, my pass line's already up because that was a come out 7. Alright, so now I'd swap back over to 3236. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to swap back over, and I'm going to go back to the other way. I mean, I could stay with that on the come outs, but it's no need in it. So 3236, I've got a 6410. So my new point's a 10. I'm going to mark the 10. I'm going back to my 3236. So I'm going to put a quarter there and a quarter. I'm putting 50 on the 9 and 50 on the 5. I'm putting, I'm hopping the 6 and 8s, all 6s and 8s for a nickel each. And I'm shooting 3236. I'm trying to get a few inside hits, knock off some of those hot bets, preferably some hardway 6s and hardway 4s in this dice set. There's a 4-2-6, so that don't pay as good as the 4-4, as the 3-3-6, but it pays. It pays. It pays. Basically, ultimately, it's giving me $50 in profit because it's going to lose this quarter, but it's going to pay me 75. That nickel's going to stay up. I'm going to re-up, so I'm going to get $50 profit. I'm hitting a 6 or an 8. 3, 2, 3, 6, and I get to mark my 6 on my small. So that's what I'm ultimately after, is an all-top small. But I want to get paid whenever I roll any of these inside numbers. All right, there's a 6 again. So it's the same thing. This quarter gets knocked off because only one of the $5 can win. So the other 5 lose. But 5 times 15 is 75. So it pays me 75. I re-up the other quarter. I got my whole $30 pops up. All right, let me see what you're saying, Ace. Oh yeah, I'm hopping this all 6s and 8s right now. So I'm hopping the 3-3, the 4-2, and the 5-1, along with the 4-4, the 5-3, and the 6-2. So I'm hopping 6 numbers for $5 each. That's why I got the $30 up. I don't have those little different hop numbers up, but that's what I'm doing there. Because when I hit that 7, that was on the come out, so that reset my ATS. So with that resetting my ATS, I just went back to my 3-2-3-6 set. You know, I'm hopping those horn numbers when I'm on that 6-4, 6-5 set, but right now I'm on the 3-2-3-6. So the 3-2-3-6 produces a lot of 6s and 8s. All the way around the dice on the axis is 6s and 8s. So yeah, so that's before I was hopping on 6s and 8s, I was hopping on horns. So 2 times in a row I was hopping on 6s and 8s, and it paid both times. And there's a 7. So see, I lose it all on a 7. It don't matter what you're doing. On a 7, you're gonna lose regardless. So here's a good example. On the 7, let's look what I lost. I lost 10 and 30. I lost 40 and 100. I lost 140 this away. But how many did I win? I mean, I was at 205 profit when I started this hand. And now I'm only at 140 profit. So I lost $65 on that shooter, ultimately. But that was counting the ATS 25. So I lost like 40 bucks maybe. But let's look at it this way. If I would have been up 205, I mean, if I had been invested 220, the normal way, and the ATS, wait a minute now, I'm getting into my money. This is what I lost. Because I have 140 still left. So I'm still at $140 profit. All right, but let's look at it this way. If I'd had 220 out there, and I'd have just hit the 7, look, I'd have lost 220 here, and I'd have lost 210 here. So I'd have lost 230 plus the 25 on ATS. So I'd have lost 255 that time instead of 140. So instead of 140, I'd have lost 255. That's the difference in the hops. It don't take near as much money to play the hops. All right, so yeah, so we'll talk about that again right quick. So normally when I'm shooting a 3-2-3-6, I'm only going to place bet the 5 and the 9, and I'm going to hop bet the 6 and the 8s, and there's 6 of them if you combine them. The 3-3, the 4-2, the 5-1, the 4-4, the 5-3, and the 6-2. There's 6 of them. Yep, you can use a dope pass, absolutely. So that's $30 hopping if I'm using 3-2-3-6, because on the 3-2-3-6, I'm going to produce a lot of inside hits. So along the way, once I get a few inside hits and I start getting my ATS marked up, somewhere down the road, I'm going to need to swap to the 6-4, 6-5, because 6-4, 6-5 is going to produce your 12. It's going to produce your aces, and on a single pitch it can produce your yo, and on a single pitch this away it's going to produce your, let me see, on a single pitch this way it's going to produce your 3. So see, this set alone, 6-4-6-5, is going to produce your horn numbers, and it's going to produce all 4 of them pretty easily if you're rolling single pitches and primary hits. You're going to be producing those horn numbers. That's why when I start out, I'm on the 3-2-3-6 and I'm hopping 6s and 8s. But when I change to the 6-4-6-5, I no longer am going to play the 5 and 9 and hop the 6 and 8. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the 5 and the 6 and the 8 like that. I'm going to hop for 15. I'm playing the iron field. I'm going to play the field for 15, and I'm going to hop the horns. See, now I've got a little bit more money out there, but every roll is paid. Now, what you just brought up is the $50 don't pass. Now, you can play the don't line or the do line. What I like to sometimes do is I'm going to play the do pass, but as I illustrated prior, once I get so far into the game, I'm going to cut everything off, and I'm going to throw me a $75 don't out there. And you know, and it's beneficial just to do it like this. So, you know, it's beneficial to cut it all off. I mean, you can play a don't pass, but I don't really like knocking myself off my don't. So if I'm trying to hit a number, I want to try to hit it. I don't want to establish a number and then knowing that I got a don't pass on it and get that in my mind. And even though I might have a don't pass established on a 6, I'm sitting here throwing a 3-2-3-6 hard way set, 3-2-3-6 3V set, knowing I'm going to be hitting the 6s and 8s. Because see, then that would deter me all the way. So instead of me playing a don't pass, I like to run it through the don't come. Because the don't come, you know, and when I run it through the don't come, I'm going to be, so right about the time that I'm going to change sets from the 3-2-3-6 and turn to this, compared to what I was doing, I'm going to take everything off. So for instance, I'm going to have the 50 on the 5 and the 50 on the 9, and I'm going to be hopping the 6 and 8s for 30 each. I'm not going to have no field going. I'm not going to have none of that going. I'm just going to have the pass line and the ATS up. And then say that's my last row, and that's when I hit the 6 again. And now I decide, instead of keeping playing this, I need to move on over to that 5-4-5-6. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this down, and I'm going to cut these off. I'm going to cut them off, and I'm going to put me a 75 down. And I'm going to roll. I don't even have to cut these off. I can leave these on. These are on, and I can leave that on that hop. But I'm going to still use the 3-2-3-6. Now, preferably, you find you another dice set that will produce a 4 or a 10. That's preferably what you would like to hit for a don't come bar, for a don't come. But you can do it with the 3-2-3-6. There's aces. I mean, there's acey deucey. So that's a great case scenario. Yeah, you lose your $30 hop, but you win the front line on the don't come by 75 right away. So boom, that pays right away, and the 75 stays up. So yeah, I have to replace the 30 right there. But I would basically be up $45 pretty good. So if that's the scenario, do it again. 3-2-3-6. You're still hopping your 6s. You still got your 5 and 9 up. You're trying to establish you a don't come. Now, and even with that hop, I mean, even with that 75 on don't come, there's a 6-2-8. So boom, or 2-6-8. That's an on-axis primary hit, 3-2-3-6. So boom, you hit one of your nickels for 15 times 5. It pays 75. It pays 75 and down. You want to take that down because this moves to the 8. You want to take your 5 and 9 down too. Well, you got to take your 5 down. You're going to take your 5 and your 6, and you're going to do that, and you're going to put 15 here, and you're going to start hopping the horns. Then now the thing is, you don't even have to play that extra 30 on the 8. You've got your don't established for 75 on the 8. So now I would move to the 6, 4, 6, 5. I'm hopping the horns now. I'm no longer using that 3, 2, 3, 6. I'm no longer using that 3 V6. I'm looking for horn numbers. There's a 9. There's a 9. So 6, 4, 6, 5, that's a single pitch. The 9 pays 15. You lose 20. You win 15. So it costs you a nickel. And so forth. We've been going through this. So I'm thinking, I'm really liking this. I'm really liking this. I'm really liking what's happening here. There's a 5. So the 5 is just going to cover the hops in the field. The $25 5 place bet is going to pay you $35. So 6, 4, 6, 5. So we're still trying to shoot for this dice set. We're trying to nail the extremes: the 2, the 3, the 11, and the 12. And there's a 7. So any 7 is going to bust you right here. It's going to bust you right there. But look, it pays you right there because you run it through the don't come. So it pays that 75. So you don't lose near as much. That's why I'd much rather run a don't come as opposed to a don't pass. A don't pass is essentially telling yourself you're gonna 7 out, and I don't want to psych myself up to 7 out. So I'd much rather use a don't come. I mean a don't pass. Yeah. A don't come as opposed to a don't pass. But yeah, so I think I'm really liking this hop stuff. And really what it's a matter of being is get to a casino early with no traffic. Find you a table that's empty that you can shoot on, and you don't have all that outside noise, where you can just concentrate and do what you want to do. I mean, yeah, you can shoot and you can play small bets. I mean, you can place the 6 and 8 and play the don't pass bar on the player and play the negative iron cross, or whichever you want to call it, the dark-sided iron cross. But if there's people there, it's going to be distracted. So what I'm saying is get to a table to where you can get your dice set dialed in, and when you start getting your dice dialed in to hit numbers you want, start utilizing the dice, the hot bits, by whatever dice set you choose. Now I've only displayed 2 sets of dice tonight. That's the 6, 4, 6, 5 and the 3, 2, 3, 6. So the 3, 2, 3, 6 dice set for me and for anybody that stays on Axis should be producing a lot of inside numbers. Now, it should produce more 6s and 8s than anything. So that's why I was hopping 6s and 8s. Then when I swap over to the 6, 4, 6, 5, that's producing a lot of horn extremes: 2, 3, 11, 12. Hop those. Play the iron cross to win every hand. Yep, the DC is a great thing. I like it. It's a little scary sometimes getting it established, especially if you're going, with a $100 DC or $150 DC. But it's a great tool. It's a great tool. But there's other dice sets also. So like Robert brought up a hardway set. So if you shoot hardways, 5, 4, 5, 4, that's producing all hardways. 5, 4, 5, 4 is producing the 2. It's producing the 4, the 6, the 8, and the 10. If you can throw on axis, and not double pitch or single pitch, hop them instead of playing them out here. But the only thing about that, this don't produce, this way you're trying to cover several numbers. This would cost a lot to hop all 4s, 5s, all 4s, 6s, 8s, and 10s. It costs a lot. That's why I said that 3V, you're only hopping the 6s and 8s, which is only $5 each, is only 6 of them. Or if you're playing this hardware set, a single pitch is going to be producing you all the 9s and 5s to go along with this set. It's going to produce all the 9s and 5s, and a lot of time the 4s. So, you know, are you wanting to sit here and hop all 5s, 6s, 8s, 9s, and 10s, or you want to hop all that? That's kind of getting expensive hopping everything. But how much does it cost? How many dice sets are there? 36. I mean, how many dice combinations are there? 36. How many of them are 7s? 7. Is it 6 of them? 6 of them are 7s. So there's 30 ways to hit another number beside a 7. So think about it. $5 times 30, you'd have to throw $150 up there every rip. But every rip, you'd be winning a hot bet, except on the 7s. Now, can you avoid the 7s enough times to get ahead to take up for the $150 losers when you have $150 losers when a 7 hits? Because when a 7 hits, you're going to lose $150. But if any other number hits, the 2, the 4, the aces, the hard 4, the hard 6, the hard 8, the hard 10, and the midnight, that's 6 other numbers. So them 6 numbers are going to pay 30 times 5. Them's going to pay $150. So if any of them come out, they're going to pay $150. So you're going to get your money straight back. The other way, any of them other numbers come back, you're only getting 75 back. So that's a straight loser. You know, so you shouldn't do that. Better not do that, hopping every number. I'm just saying hopping all the numbers between 5 and 10. It'd still be costly. Sometimes you put the 4 and 10, $2 each. Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, you can do that sometimes. I'm just looking at a way to go with my dice set. And previously, like when I need to get to the extremes, what I've been doing is cutting everything off. And what happens is I roll a lot of numbers. And then the more I got to thinking about this is, if I'm already rolling, if I'm already setting for horn numbers, why am I not betting on them? I'm setting for it. I'm hitting primarily. I'm hitting on axis hits. You know, for the 75% of the time, I'm hitting on axis. It might be a single pitch, but a single pitch is what produces the 3 and the yoke. The on axis primary produces the aces and the 12. So why am I not betting for it? So then when I started betting for it, that's hopping the horns for 5 each. But in order to hop that, you need some income to keep that $20 rinsing and repeating. So that's when I started trying to figure out, how do you produce that income? Well, the income is by the iron cross. The 5, 6, and 8 for 30 each. Or the 5 for a quarter, 6 and 8 for 30 each. And the $15 field. That's producing enough to keep that hopping horns going. Chili horn hop. The chili horn hop. And the DC, yeah, you can do that. And 25, yeah, and get a DC up. Because a lot of times, just like what happened a while ago, I mean, if you run a $100 DC through there, and it goes, I mean, even if it's 50, even if it's 75, whatever it is, if it runs through there and it gets on the 6 or 8, either one, you get to pull one of them 2 numbers off. So that's another 30 you don't have to play, because that's not your friend no more. But best case scenario, it jumps way over to the 10 or the 4. But it doesn't really matter if you're shooting on the axis and you shot So here's the thing, if you're shooting on axis and you're using the 3-2-3-6, that don't come should follow to the 6 or the 8. It's going to have the highest probability to go to the 6 or the 8 if you're shooting on axis with a 3-2-3-6 set. With the very next, when the don't come establishes, the very next set, you're changing up to the 6-4-6-5. So you shouldn't really start seeing no more 8s. Because if you get a 4 here, there ain't no 4 on this dice unless you're off axis. Now, if you get a 6-4, you can get the 6-2-8, so you could knock your 6-2-8 with a single pitch. But you know, and you actually could get a 5-3 with a double pitch. So you can still knock your 8 off, but you're not going to be as likely to knock it off with this set. I mean, you get a 6-4-10, so you can knock any of them off, but with this set, you're probably, if you're on axis, you're probably going to net some of this money a time or two, even if you knock it off. Then again, you might hit your 7 and win it, but you might knock it off. You know how a DC gets knocked off. But anyway, it's been fun. I've been out here for about 3 hours. I didn't mean to take up so much of y'all's time, but I appreciate you, Ace. I appreciate anybody, Cheese, Ace. Been a few of y'all out there today. Robert, I'm going to hop on off here now, though, but I appreciate y'all watching and taking time to listen to me, because I'm kind of just trying to develop something that works for myself. Hopefully it works for others. I'm just saying, to me, it makes more sense to use the hotbeds. It's less expensive if you are hitting on axis. Because if you're hitting on axis, your hotbeds are not going to be costing you money. They're going to be making you money. Just know what dice set you're using and know what number that dice set's supposed to produce. So if you wanted to use, say, the 5, I think Robert said the 6-5-5-6. So what that number should produce is the yo, top, on axis, yo, on axis, yo, on axis 3, on axis 3. So see, he's only getting, if he stays on primary hits, he's only going to hit the yo and the 3. But if he gets a single pitch, he can get the 12, or he can get the 7, or he can get the aces. So I don't know if I really like that one. Single pitch to get a 7. Woo. Yeah, that would be a killer for me, because I do a lot of single pitches on this 6-5, 6-5, 5-7 right here. Single pitch would produce that. That would be a killer for me, this set, because I do a lot of single pitches. I don't have near as many double pitches. Double pitch would be that on that one. Or it could be, ooh, the single pitch get you the 6-1 also. No, I don't like that set. So 6-5-5-6, 2 different ways single pitching can get you a 7. I really don't like that at all. I don't like that set. Alright, Ace. On that note, I'm out. I appreciate y'all guys. And Chili from O-Town.